boy bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome to the Believes Crypto Show. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you are ready for the bull run to really start kicking off because, fingers crossed, I have a feeling we're about to see something magical start to happen. And by the way, while I'm at it, I should point out that for those of you that don't understand, for me, there's two periods. There's a bear market and a bull market. The accumulation and distribution periods in between are part of that. And we've been in a bull market since January of 2023. Now, that probably offends a lot of people, but Bitcoin has been on the up. The market has been on the up, all of it, since January of 2023. We haven't experienced good altcoin seasons. We haven't reached a banana zone, but those are part of a bull run. We've been on a bull run since January of 2023. When we look back on this, everybody's thesis is going to be validated by that fact. That's when the market turned. That's when everything became different. Now, again, if you invested in Shiba Inu or something like that, you didn't feel it, right? But if you invested in Bitcoin, you sure as hell did. If you invested in Ethereum in January of 2023, you sure as hell did. If you invested in Solana, you sure as hell did. So there are plenty of different cryptos out there that have made immense gains and returns since the bottom of that bear market. You just didn't buy them. So doesn't mean we're not in that market. What it means, again, is that we just haven't reached that banana zone. But that banana zone is probably coming very, very soon. Right now, I think Bitcoin is trying to break out. This is where, again, we're going to see Bitcoin rip to an all-time high, 135,000-ish or something like that. I do think that it's coming very, very soon. Everything on the charts, everything on the M2 money supply, everything says that this is what's going to happen. So now the question becomes, do we buy Bitcoin or do we buy Ethereum? Which is the better investment value proposition? And we're going to try to break that down. I used Grok again, so I'm going to give you the results of Grok today when we talk about that, and then I'll give you my opinion at the end. But before we get started, make sure you hit the like button on the way in, and I want to thank each and every one of you. That's me. I have now lost officially 100 pounds. That journey that I was on was unsustainable. I was a blimp, guys. I was in just bad shape, every which way you can even imagine. You know, wheezing upstairs. You know what I mean? Like just in bad shape. Some of it came because I got lazy after COVID. Once we got locked in, and once I got COVID, and my lungs got a little bit messed up. Whatever post effect it had. Really had an effect on me, got me to stop working out for a while, but I got back into it, finally got focused and locked in, as they say. You guys might notice sometimes I wrap this show up early because I want to get to the gym. I set myself up with a schedule, set myself up with a routine, and it was all about trying to make me feel better about myself and where I am, and starting to really pay off. As you can see, the work is not done yet. I've got another, I want to say 30 or so pounds to lose. Now, while I'm doing that, you might also notice muscles a little bit bigger. I've been taking ipamorelin, BPC 157 peptides to try to help me with that. So the process, I probably could have lost, I probably could have lost about 30 more pounds by now. but it would have also been at the expense of muscle, which I wanted to kind of keep. So I appreciate each and everybody. And by the way, I've had a lot of people reaching out to me, appreciating what I'm doing. And it's very, very simple. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm just kidding. You probably can. But this has been awesome. I can't tell you that because if I do, YouTube comes after you. So I can't tell you where the place is. You know what I mean? Stay off the roids. I don't take steroids. I take ipamorelin, which is a growth peptide, and I take BPC 157, which is a healing peptide. I don't take any steroids. By the way, I'm too cheap for that. I am way too cheap for that. What I did was I stopped eating out at restaurants and started eating at home, number one, so that I could be in control of the food and be cleaner about what I eat, number one. And then number two, with the extra money that I saved by not going out and eating out every night, I then used it to buy peptides so that I could heal. No, I do the injection every day. As a matter of fact, right now I've got a peptide mix. It's a 30-day supply, and it's ipamorelin, BPC 157, and pineolon. And I take that every evening before bed. And then I take a protein shake before bed, just so just to try to give the muscles something to work with so that hopefully they will continue to build. I mean, the hardest part of any process like this is, you have a bulking phase in bodybuilding, you have a bulking phase and you have a cutting phase. And I'm trying to do both at once, which means that you're not going to do them successfully. But at the same time, I'm old. There's only so much time. So I'm going to do what my body will allow with what I want to do. And that's what I want to do. I want to work out. I want to do every day. I run as fast as I can, which is Muskrat. I will send me a message on X, and I will send you, send me a message on my X account or on my Telegram account, and I will send you where I go. Nice. Every day, the fastest that the machine goes is 12 miles per hour. So I get on a treadmill every day and I run 12 miles per hour for exactly 1 minute. And I walk a little bit before and a little bit after. And that's like that biological imperative to tell my body that it really needs to prioritize like fat loss, which I think that's what it's supposed to be doing, that I need to be leaner and stronger. I think that running is like the fight or flight sort of thing that's supposed to trigger. The Andrew Huberman said that, and I think that it had a lot of merit when I heard him say it. So every day I run as fast as I can for as long as I can. And that's my only cardio, by the way. Like, I don't stand on a treadmill for a little while. If you ever come into my gym and you see me on the Stairmaster, it's because I'm working on my calves. It's not because I'm trying to get cardio in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see. Got to be cancer screened. I go to the doctor once every 6 months for a checkup. I just got my teeth done. So, I got my teeth cleaned. So anyway, let's move on from that. So I asked, remember on Friday, we talked about which is going to be the better investment. And the question was, is it going to be Bitcoin or is it going to be Ethereum for maximum gains and for safest returns? So I did do the same analysis on Bitcoin versus Ethereum, and give me your conclusions. Okay. All right. So for the primary objective of maximum gains, I would choose Ethereum. Ethereum's high beta on the broader market, combined with its ecosystem of DeFi, RWA, and staking yields, position it for explosive upside in the late bull cycle stages, often outpacing Bitcoin by 1.5 to 3x during alt rallies. Current Ethereum price is approximately 41.42, while Bitcoin is around 112,000. Bullish 2025 forecast for Ethereum cluster to 7,500 to 10,000. By the way, that's higher than what I gave you. I told you guys I don't see it going over 6,000, and that maybe we might get lucky And I think I gave you the pie in the sky if we get lucky moment, which was at the top of this range right here, which, by the way, is exactly where they're saying their predicted range is right there at 7,500. It makes sense that you could see a wick that just kind of takes you up into the 7,500 to 8,000 range. But the other thing to remember is when you're on a trajectory path like it is right now, then if we posit that the bull market's going to run until June, if we were to take that and let's vertical this and say that, you know, bull run is going to wick out somewhere around the Ides of June, then, you know, pull this up just a little bit, kind of move this out here, and that gets me right near about 9,000. So with a confirmed breakout, maybe you get to 10,000 or something like that. So on this thesis right here, I could see some of this playing out. So 7,500 to 10,000 with aggressive targets reaching 12 to 15,000 in fractal-based scenarios, mirroring Bitcoin's 2021 breakout, which, by the way, when you're looking at that, what you're looking at is the pivot low to the pivot high. So bear market low, bear market high, or bull market, my bad. And then you're looking at a breakout to the 618. 618 comes in around 11,500. So there's a possibility that we see that maximum breakout. Now, the maximum return up here, $21.8 thousand Ethereum. If you like to see that, leave a comment down below. Jesus Christ, that would be crazy. But I don't see that. It doesn't make any sense to me. We're not in the hyper speculative asset phase anymore. We are in the real world portion of it. You know what I mean? Just because you lose fat doesn't mean your muscles are bigger. No, it doesn't at all. I've always been big and strong. It was just all covered up with fat. So if you go look at pictures of me, and there are plenty of pictures of me for the last bunch of years, then, you know, I don't know that my muscles are bigger or even denser, but I'm rounding them out. I'm shaping them up. I don't lift heavy anymore. I don't do heavy lifting. I mean, everything that I lift is probably heavy to most people because I'm stronger than most people, but I don't lift heavy anymore because I don't want to jeopardize tearing something or messing something up. I will never be like Jay Cutler, never have like giant muscles or anything like that. I'll just be as fit as I can be. And what I want to do is I want to gain and or maintain and or reshape muscle versus losing it while dieting. So a lot of protein at night before I go to bed, ipamorelin, BPC 157. You know what I mean? That's what I do. Anyway, so I just don't see the level that these guys are giving as possible. I'm going to stick with, I think that 6,000 right here is going to be about, you know, I say that and I feel like I'm wrong and I want to be wrong. Like I want to see a move up into 7,500, but until I see like Bitcoin, until I see Ethereum actually really start to feel like it's going to break out, I'm going to do that. No food before bed. Last meal should be before 5 p.m. I eat once a day and I eat at 2 p.m. Now I every once in a while I do have a snack, but my snacks are pineapple, strawberries, or bananas, or a mixture of all three of them in a container. And then I eat. And by the way, like I don't even eat that much anymore, but that's high fiber. And look, nobody in the world ever in their lives has gotten fat off of fruit. I mean, except maybe Samoans. I think they eat a lot of fruit. Maybe they got fat for that. You know what I mean? Maybe. But I try to stay away. By the way, that doesn't mean that I don't eat bad things. Okay. I haven't had pizza in a very long time, but 2 months ago, I want to say I had a slice and I cut it into 3 parts because it's like it's Chicago style. So it's big, long, rectangle. I cut it into 3 and it was like 3 pieces of pizza or something like that. But I don't eat that much. So, and God, I felt gross after that. I had a burger a couple months ago too. But I do have stake in either steak or chicken every day. Like I'm not an adherent for like anything very specific. I don't like, I went out to a restaurant not long ago, got, what the fuck did I get? I had a chicken sandwich and I got fries, and then I just didn't even eat the fries. I ate 2 fries and I left the rest. And the lady's like, "Are you done?" I just don't want to eat this garbage. You know what I mean? Salad, yes. And by the way, again, I don't mind eating chips and salsa, shit like that. Just, I try as best I can to be as clean as I can when I eat, but I'm not adherent to anything very specific. Anyway, 7,500 to 8,000, maybe, but I'm going to stick with 6,000 for right now for Ethereum. But this is going to give me the biggest gain, because what we're talking about right now is even if it were only to go to 6,000, it would still be a more significant gain, I think, than Bitcoin. But their thesis is a 1.8% gain to 7,500 to 2.4% at 10,000, or in an actual breakout layer right here that we would be talking about 12 to 15,000. Bitcoin's end of 2025 prediction is 150 to 200,000, which is 1.3 to 1.8, with outliers like a million, but more grounded estimates of 123 to 150 tied to the stability and halving lacking ETH's utility-driven multipliers. Recent X sentiment amplifies this, with traders spotting ETH Bitcoin fractals for 8,000 and viewing ETH as the better asset, with 25% outperformance versus Bitcoin year to date. So for profit perspective, Ethereum is considered right now the better option over Bitcoin. By the way, does not mean that Bitcoin's not going to run first. So this is all about you finding the right entry point for Bitcoin. Hope you did. Hope you bought some Bitcoin when it hit 30 the other day. I bought Bitcoin. I bought more. I'm waiting for it to go to 70 and I'm going to sell it. I've got it in a wallet. Now we're just going to find out whether my thesis about that is going to break out. It's going to take a long time to find out whether or not I'm going to be right about that. I'm not starting with the multiples that we had before. And I'm not starting with the capital that we had before. But once we get a few wins going from 30 to 70, then I will show you exactly where we are. I'm excited about it. I think it's going to work. It's just going to take a while. So safest return as a secondary objective, because here it is. Is it safer to be in Bitcoin or is it safer to be in Ethereum? That is the other question. If you need some risk because you don't have the money right now, and you had to make a choice on what's going to give you the best return. The best return, according to most estimations, is going to come from Ethereum, buying it here right now versus buying Bitcoin here right now. The best return is going to be Ethereum. Now, that's also the riskiest return. The secondary objective of the safest return would be Bitcoin. As the crypto market's digital gold, Bitcoin offers an unmatched stability with lower relative volatility, serving as a hedge against macro risks and benefiting from institutional ETF dominance without ETH's exposure to network upgrades on DeFi volatility. Its 2025 target of 150 to 200 I just said imply on imply. God damn it. I'm losing my mind. 30 to 80% gains supported by consistent inflows and its role in the cycle as the cycle's anchor versus ETH's potential for a sharper 20 to 40% drawdown on sentiment shifts. X discussions reinforce Bitcoin as the safer long-term investment. So Ethereum for your maximum amount of gains, Bitcoin for your maximum amount of safety. Imagine how shitty altcoin would be with. See, that's not true. That's not true, and that's why I feel like my thesis that Ethereum is not going to pop. Why I don't think it matters, because here's what matters. What matters is how much pump you can get, and then how much market dominance, how much capital is in the market right now. All right, and to be fair, like, when you start to back up, you see the level of the run. Like, that's the important part. Like, look at the level of the run. And I'm going to show you it is really just about where you bought. So if you bought Ethereum in April of this year, remember Eric Trump came out and he said it's a good time to buy Ethereum, and he gave it at some ridiculous 3,200 area up here, and then it immediately dumped down here and everybody was dunking on him. Ethereum's at $1,384. So if your perspective for the market is, well, I bought at 4,000, so Ethereum is not doing anything for me, that's fine. You're shitty at buying, you're a top buyer. Your exit liquidity for other people. But if you bought down here in this 1,400 or 1,500 range, guess what? You were just up 3x. The bull run is working for you. The thing is, you may not be taking profit along the way, but the bull run is working for you. Now, come back over here to the bottom of the bear market when you were at, what is this number? $880. If you're at $880, then your Ethereum holdings right now over the course of, look, just if you bought $10,000 worth of Ethereum in January of 2023, or what is it? July of 2022. Yeah. July of 2022. If you bought on that $900, just say $900, you're up 5x right now. The bull run is working for you. It's a matter of where you buy and what you bought. What everybody is looking for and what everybody thinks is going to validate them is the banana zone, but that's not the bull run. The bull run started way back here when we started to see this price action go absolutely crazy. Then we saw a steep correction, but now we're at a new all-time high. There's a paradigm shift happening in crypto, and we are in a bull run. We've been here for a long period of time, and we're going to look back on it because this has been just, it's been crazy. All right. Again, $800 all the way up to, that's a 5x, something like that. That's awesome. That's awesome. You had a great return. By the way, let's go look at Margex and see how you guys know, I got some longs going, and they were sitting at a pretty good spot last night. Link had me doing really, really good. I was crushing it on the Link trades. Now I haven't looked in yet. So, okay. Wow. No shit. All right. So remember, we took 5 trades, but we did one after the fact. We're now up on our Link trade. We're up $260. On the other Link trade, we're up $21. That's 51%. On the Bitcoin trade, we're up 11% or $110 right now. And then on the Ethereum trade, we're up $59 or is that 3%? Yeah, we're up 3% right now on that one. So we are down, I want to say overall, or we're dead even. Like we're up a little bit. Remember, we got $5,665 in this right now. So what I need to see really is I need to see Avalanche breakout, and we set full take profits here. Link, I set it at $27 on both of these. For Bitcoin, I set it at 114,400, which, Jesus Christ, it might hit it in a few minutes. For Ethereum, I set it at 4,400, which, it could happen today. I don't think it's going to, but it could happen today. Then Solana, I set it at 230. Now we're down on our Solana trade at this point. Haven't seen it break back over. Remember, we opened at 212. Like, we caught this because I was excited about where the market could be heading. I thought maybe I gave you levels, and then I ignored those levels because I wanted to make the trade on the screen because I wanted you guys to see the trade going through as opposed to setting it for when it would be most effective. And that was on me. And it looks like so far we've kind of survived it. Now, the question is, will it continue to pump? And right now it's looking like we're going to get a continuation of this pump. Now, when I get into the green on Avalanche, I'm going to look back on this and I might just close everything and I might just take the profit at that point and just kind of see where we are. Again, I'm up $300 here, 320, 440, 530, but I'm down $380 and $16 on those two. So yeah, I think that I think Avalanche is going to be the telltale on whether or not that's going to happen. By the way, I did get approval to set up the copy trading account, so I will give you guys on tonight's trading stream. I will give you the copy trading account, and we will set that up and start that. Now, it won't be active until I start taking profit on this because I'm going to have to move some of this money over, but we're going to start doing that almost immediately. Now, we've covered that. Let's get into a few other things. By the way, so Terra Luna Classic, if you didn't know what was going on over here, they came up with a proposal for USTD. Now, that USTD is a new stable coin. What I pointed out here is that these radical leftist validators, Jesus is Lord. And we know Jesus was a leftist because, wash everybody's feet. What? Accept immigrants? Are you kidding me? Huh. Not the American Bible, bitch. Oh, be nice to others. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That's the most un-American stuff I've ever heard. Anyway, so he voted no on this proposal, but 99% of the people that are investing. By the way, how do we copy trade? So basically what you would do is you would set up an account on Margex, which is in the link down below. Set yourself up, and then you fund the account, like put $100 in or whatever, and then whatever trades I take, you're going to take. That is what will end up happening. Your trades are just going to copy and mirror mine. So basically, you're just like piggybacking onto my investments. So when I set buys and sells and stuff like that, you'll do the same, and then you can. Then if I win, you win. So we'll see what happens, but. Back to this, 99% of his delegators voted yes. He voted no. 92% of his delegators right here voted yes, and he voted no. 70% of the LUNC, whatever this one is, zero fee and USTC airdrops, 67% voted yes, and he voted no. Over here, we had 99% vote yes, and he voted no. Over here, we had 78% vote yes, and he voted no. So these guys are not they're not voting in your best interest. They're voting in their own self-preservative interest on this. So what then happened? Well, a bunch of people came out and said, well, why don't you guys sit this out? Why don't you guys not vote? And then what we'll do is we'll let the people vote. We'll let the people vote. And what happened? They resubmitted the signal proposal, and they all immediately ran to no with veto. They fucking hate you, okay? They hate the fact that you might win. And remember, these guys are making thousands of dollars a month, and they're cashing it out on you every single month. They are stealing the liquidity out of this pool month in and month out, and they are providing you with nothing. And they're preventing the growth of the blockchain. When are you going to change your delegation to people who actually support you? That's all I'm asking. It's all I'm ever asking. And if you want to tell me, no, bro, these guys are good. Jesus is Lord has been voting against improvements on this blockchain since the beginning. So has Greenpeace, but he had a much smaller stake. Interstellar Lounge, same thing. They've all been voting against your better interest all this time. And if you want to tell me that it's all working, then show me right here on the chart where any of their bullshit is working. Show me where it's working, because you are at the lowest of lows. They have drained the liquidity every single month, month after month after month after month. They're not providing you anything. They're not giving you anything. They're not doing anything for you. All they're doing is draining you dry, and you are still delegating with these losers. And again, the only place where you can prove me wrong is right here on the chart. So stop me when I'm telling lies. Stop me when I'm telling lies. The markets are pumping. LUNC is dumping. You tell me. The markets are pumping. LUNC is dumping. You tell me where their decisions are working. So that's what's happening right there. Those are your validators. If you even care about the Luna Classic blockchain, and I know some of you do, if you care about the Luna Classic blockchain, you better stop validating with the people who vote against your better interest. All right. Kobayashi letter. President Trump says that he will be imposing substantial tariffs on any country that does not make its furniture in the United States. It seems foreign countries must now produce their furniture in the U.S. to avoid tariffs. In order to make North Carolina, which has completely lost its furniture business to China, and other countries great again, I will be imposing substantial tariffs on any country that does not make its furniture in the United States. Details to follow. By the way, if you don't like that, you are a loser. Okay, this is a brilliant idea. Make people make their stuff here in America. That brings jobs, that brings everything. Also, Trump is imposing a 100% tariff on any movies made outside the United States. Our movie making business has been stolen. Now, remember, a lot of not movies necessarily, but a lot of TV shows and stuff like that, especially on places like Sci-Fi, where you get, you have the cheaper sets and stuff like that. They're now made in Canada. Did you know Winona Earp was made in Canada? And basically every show on Sci-Fi. Also, Arrow, filmed in Canada. Flash, I think, filmed in Canada. I think Flash was filmed here in America, but most of this stuff, they film it in the cheaper places, and one of those cheaper places is Canada. So imposing a tariff on movies that are made overseas, I don't think that matters too much. I don't know that that's going to incentivize people because this is stupid, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, gold also at an all-time high. By the way, at some point, gold is going to break down. When it breaks down, it's going to funnel itself into Bitcoin. And as of this morning, right now, look at this, gold breaking out one more time. Remember I told you a couple days ago that we were in this kind of consolidation pattern, that we might be finally at the top of gold. And when we see gold start to tank a little bit, we're going to see Bitcoin start to take off. Well, look at gold. Gold is absolutely going nuts. And by the way, this is why we train, bro. This right here, coming off of this right here, like you had this perfect scenario, perfect play out for a breakout, and then breakout it did. And I guess to be fair, you would move it down here into this little range right here, but you take the top here for that range, and that's the impulse move. And right here, looks like the impulse move might be over for gold. So I don't know for sure. That's just voodoo. What I'm doing is voodoo. So you never know. But we'll see what happens here. But that money is going to rotate back into Bitcoin at some point. And by the way, Bitcoin 114,000 starting its ascent one more time. I don't know if this is the move that I was talking about before. You guys remember what I said? I said that, you're in the heart line of Bitcoin. You're probably going to look at upside momentum before you get that downside momentum. It doesn't make sense to me that it would dump down into the 90 or 95 range, but I am prepared for it. I said that the most likely path for me would be a surge up into this range right here. Then after this, that maybe we would have a retest of the top over here, and then we would break up to the top of that range, and then we would have this breakdown, and then we would have another top start to come from there. And then the question would be, can we get down into this range? Now, I don't know that that's going to be the case, but really it's going to take what happens over the next little while. Remember, yesterday we closed up about $70 billion by the time the day was over. Just at the end of the day yesterday, had a nice little run. Then last night we had a nice little dump into it. And now things are starting to really foment and do we get a run? And I think that we're almost there. October, 2 days away. We'll see what happens. But it's looking like it's going to Mantra is leaving ETH and only on BNB. There'll be some liquidity there, but they're putting on, and they're not moving it to BNB. They might be leaving a liquidity pool on BNB, but what they're doing is they want to move everything onto their chain. So they're going to be providing liquidity on the Mantra chain, as opposed to, and what they're doing is consolidating their liquidity pool. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. They want, in order to attract major investors, they need to have a major liquidity pool. In order to have a major liquidity pool, they have to pull their pools from chains that they're on and focus on themselves. DevE is going to do the same thing pretty soon, by the way. So yeah, you're going to see something move here. You're going to see a lot of changes. By the way, bull market indicators, nothing hit right now. If you haven't already, become a member of the channel. If you haven't, go to terracasino.io, sign up. If you played in the poker tournament last night, leave a comment. Let me know that you played in it last night. That was a pretty big tournament that they had. Also, if you're buying any meme or utility coins on Terra Classic, then terraport.finance is your place to go. As far as DevE goes, I said that I would make a video over the weekend. I didn't, got caught up in Lamb of God and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to make a, I'm going to go, this week, there'll be a video. And I'll tell you, why I think DevE is the preeminent project. And by the way, look, if I'm wrong, we're all going to get wrecked. All right. No question about it. But I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. So I get a sense and a feeling here that we're about to see something absolutely nanners start to happen with DevE. So the new website is live. Again, website is not a reason to buy a crypto. It's not, it's not a thing. But you can see here, like, it's a really nice, really clean layout. I like it. Then you've got the dev.exchange website as well. And that's what dev.exchange looks like right there. I think it looks nice. I think it looks really nice. It's a very interesting way of, I'm scrolling, by the way. You see the cards right there. You're scrolling through A to G. Really kind of a neat way to do it. Then here's the team. Will Stewart is now the chairman. Ray Quintan is the CEO. Tom is the CSO. Bill Anderson is the CIO. Sean McKinney is the CTO. And then Nick Williams is the VP of software. And here's your partners and media features. Now, for most of you, you do know that these are paid for and sponsored places for the most part. CoinDesk is sponsored. Cointelegraph is sponsored. Crypto News is sponsored. Bank Delubak is not. Devio, that is the parent company. And then you have Forbes, which is also another pay-to-play site. So you'll see information coming across those, but let's remember those are paid articles. The important thing, Bank Delubak and Devio. Those are the important ones. And then you have, this is probably going to get filled out as we go. So the partner feedback is from Paul Bureau, head of the, I don't know if it's Bureau or Bureau, it's French, head of crypto assets at Delubak. So, that might be, there should be more partners. We'll see a bunch of new stuff with partners. And for the latest news and articles, you can see that all down here where people are talking about it. So if you want to get informed, if you want to know what's going on, then you finally have a spot where you can go kind of check it out. So everything is ready. It's just a matter of time right now. And remember, a couple days ago, they got, and I did check it up. Finally, the patent was approved on September 16 for one of the Devios or for one of the DevE's protocols. And that was, it's going to be hard to explain because I'm not a tech nerd, but it was the way that they're doing instant settlements. They got it approved. And I think that was a stumbling block. So all their pieces are coming up right now. So now it's a matter of getting their licenses approved, and then they're going to be playing with power. Definity, by the way, still haven't talked to anybody on the team, but it's kind of maintaining its range right there. I want to see one more pump, see where it goes from this next pump. What I like about it at this point is, kind of zoom out here, is this right here. Seems to be running up, seems to be very bullish, seems to be moving in a positive direction. The question now is about this top over here and how aggressive is it right there? Okay. So then what I want to see is I want to see a move to the top of this range. If we see a move to the top of this range, which is about a 2.5x from where it currently is, we see that kind of move right there. And then we see a breakout then I'm going to be bullish on it. And I'm going to be looking for a move into this range, which is near the top right here. There would be a breakout to about right there, which is about a 4x away. Then from that point, we'll see whether or not we maintain and whether we stay bullish on it. I do think that's going to happen no matter what, coming up very, very soon. I think we'll get a breakout here on Definity. By the way, we always see a breakout on Definity. So there will be a moment in time where we see it again. So it's most everything was sucked out for the last little while in order to go back into Bitcoin. How do I know that? Because guess what? Bitcoin's pumping again. And what else is pumping along with it is going to be Ethereum and XRP and maybe Solana, but Solana looking kind of weak today. So we'll see whether that happens or not. Again, I'm watching Definity. Definity, by the way, I don't like what I see in their chat. Their Telegram chat is just basically dead. And I say that because I also want to say this. So is DevE's chat. Dead. I mean, when you look at, and by the way, that doesn't mean that there's nobody there or anything like that. It just means that, when you start to look around, like right here, these are some of the chats. Crypto Influencer chat has 100 comments. Blocky has 445 comments. Volt has 37,000 comments. DevE has 47 since last night. Like these are since last night. Like this is a very inactive. Coming down here, Definity Market, only 13 comments. There's not a lot going on there. You know what I mean? Like there is not a lot going on. Okay, so also for those of you who don't know, I've been talking about this project right here, Xceller AI, and I had a question that I had to get in with, and I wanted to make sure that I clarified this because somebody asked me about it. So I wanted to get back to everybody and let them know. One of the questions that people had was this right here on token utility. If you notice here, it says that the balance of 1,000, you need 1,000 XCL in order to get your rewards. You got to hold $100 plus worth of XCL tokens to get your rewards. I bought in on this pre-sale, by the way. But the question here was receive daily airdrops automatically. And the question that people had, was, well, how are you going to have daily airdrops because you don't have any tokens if you're going to take this right here and you're going to burn all the tokens that were not sold? How are you going to have any? And the answer to that was I thought it through and then I thought, let me make sure. Here's what's going to happen. The daily rewards right here receive daily airdrops automatically right there. And then daily rewards will be in XCL tokens. Well, where do they come from? Every day, the fee collector will collect fees. 50% of all platform fees go to XCL holders. So it's in this little box here. So what'll happen is every day, people who are trading on Xceller, people who are using Xceller, it's going to get a small fee. 50% of that fee is going to be given into the buy pool. It's going to be used to buy XCL back on the open market. So it's going to have its own buy pressure built in. And then they're going to be distributed to all holders every single day who are holding over $100 worth of XCL tokens. Ta-da. So fully renounced. The team got in on the pre-sale as well. Remember we originally talked about it was like 200,000. It's up to 682,000. This is going to be a big launch. All right. And by the way, this is using the Fox formula, which I don't know. I'm not an expert in what the Fox formula is, but the idea behind it is that you are anonymous. All right. This is a security protocol that's going to make your transactions untraceable, unstoppable, and uncompromised. So I'm interested to see exactly how this works. Here's the smart contract, by the way. If you want to read it and you want to look at it, the smart contract is right here for you. You can check the whole thing out. You can investigate. I mean, they've made it very, very simple. So I appreciate what they've done. Does not mean, by the way, that it's going to pump. Doesn't mean it's going to do anything. Just means that they're paying attention. They're doing something with it. Now, let's talk prices here. FF is down 49%. I don't know what's going on with Falcon Finance, but it ran up to a market cap of $772 before dumping super hard. I don't know what this. This kind of came out of nowhere. Let's see. In all time. Okay, the reason for it is because it launched yesterday. It launched yesterday with some kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't fucking find. I have no idea what it is. Anyway, Zcash privacy up 18% on the day. I keep telling you guys that Monero, things like that, I think they're going to rip. Zcash, Monero, the privacy-based cryptos, I think they're going to have some really big runs. I think people are really getting tired of the government watching everything they do. So Pump up 11% on the day. XPL down 12%, but Hype up 7%, Hex up 8%, Solana up 5%, Near up 3.9%, Mantle up 9%, Arrow up 7%. Starting to see a little bit of movement here. Super up 48%. Zan, Noma down 26%. Form, which is 4, down 20%. Avantis down 12%. Ether down 11%. Per up 50%. Useless up another 14%. So you're starting to see memes make a little bit of a move again. Order up 71%. We're getting breakouts. We're getting nice moves right here. TRWA 24%, Dovu 12%, Banana up 12%, Monu up 46%, Meme Coin, Dude up 41%, Meme Coin, Nobody up 16%, Meme Coin. It's probably all Solana memes, by the way. So nice movements happening here. We're back to the middle neutral zone on Fear and Greed Index. So I could be selling my Bitcoin in just a moment if it continues to surge like the way that it is right now. I could be selling that Bitcoin very, very soon already. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. That's crazy. So I'm never know. On Friday, outflows of 418 million on the Bitcoin ETF. Probably going to be massive inflows today. On the Ethereum, should be even worse. Yes, outflows of 400 million. Nope, 248 million in outflows on the Ethereum ETF on Friday. They're just moving in unison and lockstep with the market on whether the market is pumping or dumping at this point. There's no magic to it. So it just seems like right now it's just a lagging indicator. So I suspect we're going to see some big moves to the positive in the next day or so. Also, Ethereum now at 4,200, Bitcoin now at 114,200. Starting to see that surge. The surge, by the way, what we need to see. We need to see Bitcoin break out. Then we need to see the breakdown of Bitcoin from 134,000-ish, starting to cascade down into Ethereum, which Ethereum then goes to, I want to say 5,000. We hit that all-time high one more time at 5,000. Probably reject because that's how it works. Come back down here at our entry position one more time, and then we break, and then that's when we start the journey. I don't know where the journey ends. I do not know where that journey ends. I'm guessing 6,000. I want to change that to 8,000 or 10,000 or 12,000. Originally, back in the old days, I told you guys that it was my estimation that 12,000 was going to be the spot, and I've since cut that in half. I would like to be able to change that back. I just don't see it yet. So we'll see what happens there. I do see it on Solana, though. I think Solana is ready for like a crazy run. Doesn't mean that it will. Doesn't mean that it won't get weak, whatever. But just seems like Solana is ready for that next big move. And by the way, the reason I'm saying that, all the meme coins are on Solana, the ones that are pumping right now. Remember, we just looked at it. They're on Solana. So your Solana memes are going right now. So it should turn into something. So let's move over here and go to our favorites, and you see the right wing down 20%, meme link down 6%, Volt down 5%, new Volt, not old Volt, old Vote up 4%, Devi up 4%, TARS AI up 4%, Fias up 4%. I wouldn't enter Fias, by the way, at this point. I think that's too high. See, it sets the top of the range there. What I would look for, if you want to enter, by the way, if you want to take a risk on Fias, I would be looking for an entry here. And by the way, you should take a risk on Fias. But I would be looking for an entry point down here into this range. Guess I should look at it from the price standpoint. Like, duh, dumb. Let's try that one more time. Boom, 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 boom. I would be looking for a breakdown to right here at around 17. If you can get in at 1.7 cents again, I think that's going to be a pretty decent entry point. So I'd be looking for that move if you decide that Fias is going to be the investment for you. It's got to break down a little bit, I think. There's no reason for it to pump. So there's nothing yet. Anyway, so that's it. We made it. We survived. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to go hit the gym and do my thing. So, again, I'm celebrating. I'm down 100 pounds. I feel great. I'm on ipamorelin peptide, BPC 157 peptide, Pineolon peptide. Pineolon is for the brain. It's for the brain. I was in the mosh pit, by the way. Not bragging. But ipamorelin, BPC 157, Pineolon, and I take it every night before bed, and then I have a protein shake to go with it. Hopefully that helps to maintain muscle while I continue to lose fat and continue to burn, and we'll see what happens. The ultimate goal, dick root. And for those of you that are wondering, not yet. Not yet. Matter of fact, for that purpose, that purpose alone, and I was just kind of playing when I said that was going to be my ultimate goal. Now I think I can do it. I think that, like once I started to lose the weight, I'm not really hanging as much as I thought I might. Losing 100 pounds is a lot, right? So I've got some sag, you know what I mean? Like I still have to burn some of the remaining portion off. Like I still have around the like right here. Still got to burn that off right there. Still got to burn this down right here. But the abs could be coming in. The abs could be coming in at some point soon. So I think another 30 pounds and I'll probably be able to like swap for a little while and just go high protein. And you know what I mean? Might be able to do that. But I'm on the journey, and that's what matters. All right, guys, not financial advice. I'm always right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you leave a comment as well. And we'll see you guys again.
I'm looking for the good life. Sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining.